Holiday greetings. I'm Barbara Thiel, home economist from the Cooperative Extension Service. And today I'd like to present a program dealing with entertaining but using healthy foods. So in other words, how to get the fat down, how to increase your nutrients, keeping everything low cost, colorful, and for the holidays. And I might add, if you have any questions, call us at the Cooperative Extension Service, 985-7169. Be glad to share the recipes. It's hard on a TV show to catch everything, but we'll be glad to help you. And let's start out our holiday cooking with soup. Soup is a wonderful addition to any meal. And I have here a delicious bone soup. You know, all those turkeys that you've purchased for Christmas? Well, all you need to do is take the carcass or the bones from chicken and add some cold water, about a couple quarts of cold water, an onion, a little bit of whatever, a little bit of salt, pepper, parsley, your favorite herbs. Cook it up and then strain it. And then today I've made a minestrone soup. What I've done is I've taken my base bone soup, and then I've added some green beans and a little bit of spaghetti, carrots. Oh, what else have we got? Celery, onions, cabbage, just a variety, some tomatoes. And I put together a delicious minestrone soup, and I put beans in too to give it a little more protein, to give that protein a boost, to give the fiber a boost. And you'll be surprised when you use the bones and with the meat, just a little bit of meat, you don't have a lot of fat. Oh, that smells so good. And during the winter, don't forget to use your different dishes and serve soup to make it hearty, to make it colorful. You can serve it individually. Wouldn't this look pretty at a table setting? So get the dishes out. Don't waste food. Use more soups, more stews. They're wonderful, wonderful foods. You can get a lot of nutrition, a lot of fiber, protein, nutrients in them, and they're filling. During the holidays, when we go visiting, we're exposed to a lot of dips, lots of dressings. So I'd like to demonstrate a dressing that is really very, very good, and it is nutritious and also has nutrients. We're going to start by using 1 cup of the non-fat yogurt. And I know some people turn up their nose at yogurt, but really it's just like having skim milk. There's lots of calcium in it. It's wonderful. And dips that have sour cream, you're getting all saturated cholesterol. This is much better for you, and you're going to have some calcium. Now we're going to use 1/2 cup of the low-fat cottage cheese. This will give your dip or dressings body. To help, because you want to put them on a buffet table, you might want to take them to a potluck, 1/2 cup of the low-fat mayonnaise will give them body, so use your light. This happens to be the salad dressing, just the store brand. It'll give it a little flavor, and it'll help your salads so that they don't separate. We're going to add a little onion to this dip. And now again, if your family doesn't care for onion, don't use it. This will mince up real well in the food processor. The same with your adding a little seasonings here. How about a little bit of parsley for color? Could put in a few chives too. If you could use fresh chives when they're in your gardens, just a little bit for color. And then we have another seasoning that's real good. It's called Beau Monde. And if you notice, I'm not adding any extra salt because this seasoning has the salt to it. And it has a lot of a celery base. It's really, really flavorful. We find it goes over very well. And a little bit of dill. Now take it easy with the dill because some people find dill overpowering. So we're just going to put a little bit in for flavor. And if your family doesn't like dill, then don't use it. Now all you have to do, you could use a blender, a food processor, is put your ingredients in, lock the cover, and we're going to give it a blend here for just a minute. And always pull the plug out of your appliances for safety's sake. And it's well mixed, as you can see. We're going to turn it into a pretty little dish. How about green for the holidays? Let's use one of our pretty green dishes. And here we go. So now you have a dip that's going to hold, as you can see. It's got a nice consistency to it. It'll work with salads. It'll work. I'm going to show you what we have here. On a nice tray of vegetables, you could have some crackers. We have some cauliflower, carrots, all kinds of colorful things. Cherry tomatoes are in. Nice munchies. Cauliflower would be great on here. You can also use this for your salad, this dip, and it'll hold. How about a potato salad? Just change your spices. Maybe you would not want to put the onion in there. As I mentioned, it's going to give you some nutrition, and it's very, very good. During the holidays, many homemakers just love to serve a pâté as an appetizer. You know, there's so many appetizers that you do have. People come in just for a drink and an appetizer. And of course, we know that liver is just loaded with cholesterol. So I'd like to show you a pâté that is really very, very delicious using just plain chicken or poultry. And you can use the light meat if you want. It's about 2 cups of chicken in here, cubed chicken meat. There's going to be a package of onion soup, and again, you can cut that down. I'm not going to use the whole package, about a half a package to your own seasonings, because you do gain a lot of salt. So let's not use a whole package. Let's just use a half package for seasonings. Let's put in some peanuts, about a half a cup of peanuts in here. Oh, maybe a 1/3 cup would be good. Give it a little crunchiness, a little different flavor. Some parsley and red pepper for color. Parsley will give it a good different flavor, a little blend of spices. And then to help our pâté stay together, we're going to use 1 cup of the non-fat yogurt along with 1/2 cup of the light salad dressing, or you could use the mayonnaise, whatever you have, but it's a light. So you see our fat and cholesterol are lowered. We also have some nutrition with the yogurt. We're going to give it a blend. And of course, you can taste it to see. You can blend it really, really fine, just like a pâté is. It works out real well in a food processor. And you can taste it for seasonings and change it to what your family likes. And here we come out. It's delicious with crackers. And you'll find that your guests will be surprised. They'll wonder what it is. You know, that it's not heavy like the liver, but it's very, very flavorful. So here you have a reduced calorie, reduced cholesterol pâté that is very, very tasty. So I hope you'll try it, and you won't have to change your holiday plans and say, oh, we can't have this anymore, we can't have that. You certainly can. My family really enjoys this. It's a chicken pâté. They really enjoy it. Use some of your turkey. Turkey's been very reasonable this holiday season, and I know there's going to be turkey in a lot of your homes. So try some of that extra turkey and make a nice pâté. I'd like to prepare for you a chicken salad delight, or turkey. As you know, you have a lot of poultry during the holidays, but most often this is an excellent salad. It's great to take to a potluck, wonderful for those holiday buffets. So let's start with barley. I bet you don't use barley very often. Now, you heard that barley is good for cholesterol. It's one of the good foods that lower cholesterol. We're always talking about the bad foods and the fats and all. Well, barley is a real good food for lowering cholesterol. It's a cereal. And when I ask most people, how do you use barley? How do you buy it? What do you do with it? I get the same answer: soup, chicken soup. or a vegetable soup, or a barley beef soup, but people do not know what to do with it. Well, first of all, how you cook the barley is just take it, put it in water, and put some chicken bouillon. It flavors it. Cook it until it's all cooked up. There's recipes on the box, but if you need some recipes, call us at the Cooperative Extension Service, and I'll be glad to share this recipe with you. So now we have flavored barley. And then we're going to put some celery in our salad to give it some crunch, some crispness. And again, you can dice your celery however you like it, real fine. You can put it in the food processor and give it a blend. I find that people like celery like that too, but if you want to see it, you'll want it a little coarse. Let's put some fruit in our salad. Again, apples. We've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, it's the pectin in the apple that helps with the cholesterol. So let's use our wonderful apples that are on the market right now. This is a Red Delicious. Let's put the skin in for some fiber, and it'll go real well. Now, if you make the salad up ahead of time, you might want to take a little lemon juice and put on the apple, or better yet, how about some pineapple juice or orange juice, something that you've opened and saved. That way the color will remain and you'll have a little bit of flavor, because lemon juice is a little bit tart. I like pineapple juice myself. It gives it a real good flavor. Okay, so we're just going to put the apples in, and on the market we find lots of seedless grapes. Grapes are going to give us some fiber, but most of all, flavor. They're nice and sweet. They're going to give us color for the holiday buffet. So we have the nice red apples with the skin and the grapes and the barley. And because it's Christmas time and it's festive, let's put in a few nuts. Everyone has nuts during the holiday. Let's put a few walnuts in here. Chop them up. Of course, you could use pecans or whatever you have, but walnuts are most commonly used with apples, more of a Waldorf type salad. And they too will give it a little crunch, a little flavor. And then we have our poultry, which could be chicken, turkey, whatever you have. Oh, a couple cups should be good in here. And we'll stir it all together. And again, cube it the way your family likes it. I have it quite distinguished, so if you have a bite of chicken, you'll know it's a bite of chicken or turkey. If you like it finer, go right ahead. And then to top this all off, we're going to use our low-calorie dressing we made. It's really good because we have, again, the body with the light mayonnaise, the cottage cheese, and the yogurt for nutrients. It has a good flavor too. Again, don't get it overpowering with your spices. It's better to be a little bit mild. And just mix it in till it's moistened. You don't need tons of dressing. People don't like their salads too wet. So just blend it, moisten it nice. Another thing too, when you put spices and flavorings in your dressings, you don't want to overpower your salad. So keep them light and then use them just to moisten. As you can see, I'm just moistening this salad, because if you get it too wet, then it's going to be gooey and people don't like it. So keep your salad crunchy, keep it crisp. Now you could refrigerate this salad and it'll keep just fine for a potluck. You could take it out, and isn't this pretty? What we can do, we can put it in a glass dish. Could put it in individual dishes. It would look really nice. Everybody had their own dish. Wouldn't this be nice to serve at a luncheon? It'd be great when you never know what to serve. And people would say, well, what's in here? It's not rice. Now, brown rice would be good to put in too. It has a lot of flavor and a lot of color. But the barley is good for cholesterol, and we want you to use more barley because it's one of the grains that you don't use. So you could put this in individual dishes, put them at the places, and you could garnish again for a little color. Right on the market, there's all kinds of pretty greens. This just happened to be a little leaf lettuce I came across, very reasonable. It was only around 49 cents a pound, which is very light. Green, pretty, and you just tuck a little bit in, and there you go. You have a complete, nutritious salad with lots of good fiber, lots of good protein, nutrients, and cost is very, very little. Now, doesn't that make a nice holiday salad to put on any buffet or to serve at any holiday meal? far, we've used yogurt for a dressing. Now, how about doing something really exotic for the New Year's in a special salad? You know, pasta's in. It's one of the complex carbohydrates, and people love to use it. Wherever you go at a salad bar, you see pasta salads. Well, here, let's start with some spiral macaronis, and they're the veggie types. So they're going to give our salad bowl some color. And then we're going to add some celery, and we add celery for crunch. And again, you can cut it the way that you like it. Now, because we want color in our salad, let's put some green pepper. You could use red pepper. Anything for color. The pepper gives it a little different flavor. So that'll give us some color, some flavor. How about broccoli? A little bit of broccoli, just the flowerets. You can use the rest of the broccoli in a delicious cream of broccoli soup. So as you can see, I just took the little flowers and put them in here. And then mushrooms. As I said, we're making this exotic. And you can cut your mushrooms so that they're bite-sized, but still have some shape and identity. You don't have to cube them. As you can see, they're more sliced so you know that they're a mushroom. But still, they're bite-sized. And again, you can cut those as slim or as thick as you want. You don't really want things too thick for a salad, though. And we need a little carrot in there. Carrot's going to give us color. And I find if you shred your carrots fine, just really nice and fine, that they're easy to eat, they blend in well, and they certainly give it that rainbow of color effect. See how nice those carrots break up? Real easy to do. Just take a grater and just grate a nice big carrot. That was just one carrot. Plenty of carrot to give us color. So that's our veggie salad so far. But now we're going to make it a main dish salad, and we're going to put in our poultry. We have a couple cups of cubed chicken here to go in. And we'll just mix this around a little bit, and then we'll work on our dressing. And as I mentioned, we're going to have a different dressing for the pasta salad, but we're still going to keep it low-cal so that we don't get all that extra fat. Remember, 30% of your calories should come from fat, and that's all, and that's easy to pick up. So let's make our dressing with some oil-free Italian. We'll put about a cup in here, and this is that new oil-free, which is pretty good. And you could make your own too. We'll use the bottle. You could certainly make your own, no problem, using the spices that you like. We're going to dress it up a little bit. How about putting some Dijon mustard? Oh, about a half a teaspoon. Remember, you don't want to be overpowering because some people like these, some people don't like the flavors. So we'll keep it a little bit bland, but yet give it a little pizzazz so that we have a little bit, something a little different. And while we're doing that, let's put a little Parmesan cheese in to give it a little flavor. Put in the dressing, something a little different to spark it up. Put about a good tablespoon in here. And we'll mix this all up. And then, again, carefully pour it over your dressing, not getting too much in because this dressing that I have in the cup will keep. So let's just put it in to moisten, going around. I think we're going to need this cup though, because our pasta will absorb it. It's a big bowl here. We have a big salad, but when we toss it, it's going to be colorful, it's going to have a lot of variety, and it's going to be very good. Now, if you wanted to, you could put a few more things like a little bit of black olives, but remember, olives have fat, but that would give it a color. You could use other vegetables, a little bit of tomato, not really cherry tomato. You might want to decorate with cherry tomato, but you could put tomato in here. Any other vegetables that are favorites. And there we go. Isn't this a pretty tossed salad? Just remember to keep the broccoli small. Use the flowerets, not the coarse part. Save that, as I mentioned, for the soup. Grade your carrots fine. Keep this fine so that people won't have trouble eating it. It's all nice bite size. And the same thing with the pastas. There's just a big variety on the market. and you can use any kind that you would like. This too can be decorated with the lettuce leaves or a different type of a green. A different type of a green would look very nice on here. And then there you are, ready to serve on any buffet. It would be just great. You could use a fish in here. You could use a shrimp cut up. Any type of a fish would go in here nice, and you'd have a seafood salad. So you could do a lot with this salad, and it would be very, very attractive, very presentable, and I guarantee you people are going to ask you for the recipe. They're going to say, what did you do with that dressing? It tastes a little bit different. So don't be afraid to try a creative salad like this for your holiday buffets. During the holidays, especially at buffets or potluck, someone always says, I'd like to bring a gelatin salad. And we usually see two kinds of gelatin salads. One that are so plain, or else they're so ultra rich. They have sugar and creams and all kinds of whips in there, and they're just really too rich. So today I'm combining the two. I'm making you a little special salad that doesn't take a lot of work, and yet it's low in calories and very attractive. I have here what is called a holiday ribbon ring. And all you do is you layer it with your plain gelatins. You just use a total of 4 packages of Jell-O to make this, of any gelatin. And you can use the sugar-free. You take your packages of gelatin and you just dissolve 2 colors. I used the red and the green today because of the holidays. And you dissolve them in just a little bit of water, like the 2 packages of the green right here were dissolved in 1½ cups of water. Then you separate them. When they get a little bit thick, sort of like this, you put a layer on your mold, and then you let it set. And then when it's set, instead of using the rich creams, you just take the other plain gelatin that you have, the other half of that 1½ cups, and you put in 1/3 cup of yogurt, and you just whip it in with a whip, and you have a nice fluffy taste. Believe me, it'll taste the same as your sour creams, your whipped creams, and it's a lot more nutritious and a lot less fat calories. So let's take this out and see what it looks like. See how our layers turned out. And to do that, on your molds, I know a lot of you are afraid to use a mold. Well, how do you use a mold? You simply take your molds, make sure they're clean, really, really clean. And then all you do is take a little bit of cold water. If it's a plastic mold like the type I have here, it's good enough. If it's the metal one and you're not too sure of, take a product like your vegetable sprays. Give them a little spray. See, the plastic, it'll come out because I have an inner mold here and the air drops it. And then all you do is lift your mold, shake it a little bit, and just lift your mold and it'll come right out. And there you are. You can see the layers. Now what we have here is the green that was on the bottom that you saw that had the yogurt, and then a plain green, and then we had the red with the yogurt and a plain yogurt. Now a salad like this can be used many ways. If you keep it plain like it is, you could just put some lettuce around it, and it could be more of just a plain salad to go with a meal, accompaniment to the meal. If you want, you could put fruit, nuts, you could put a variety of foods in here, and it could be more of a dessert type of salad. So you could decorate it really neat by putting some fruits around here. It would look real, real nice. Or again, you could make a dressing, like a yogurt dressing, to go over it. That'd be very, very nutritious. So you see, it isn't hard to do. You just set up each layer at a time, and then you would just slice it, and there you go. It'd be something a little bit different, a little bit pretty, and very flavorful. It's still nice and creamy, even though it doesn't have the sour creams. You'd be surprised, the yogurt tastes great. You can put a vanilla flavored yogurt or a fruit flavored in too. So try something pretty, something different for the holidays, and you'll be surprised how people will say, oh, that gelatin is good. Glad you did something different this time. I'm just finishing up on this wonderful dessert that would look so nice on your holiday table. Isn't it colorful? What it's called is a cherry cream dessert. You know, so often people like something colorful, something pretty, but yet they don't care for those heavy desserts. You know how often you're served fruit cake and all those rich, creamy, heavy desserts, and you just think, oh, I can't eat another bite. But still, your hostess will say, oh, well, what's this dinner without dessert? We have to have a dessert. All right, what this is this, it's made with skim milk and flavored yogurt, and really it's good. It's creamy, the dessert holds its shape, it is absolutely delicious. You just take your skim milk and use the unflavored gelatin. And you just take a saucepan, put an unflavored gelatin in a half a cup of milk and let it set for a few minutes. Then go ahead and add the rest of the milk, which adds up to 1 1/4 cups. You just heat it till the gelatin is dissolved with a half a cup of sugar, or you can use the new sweetener that you can cook with. It's up to you. And then you let that cool till it's slightly thickened, like I showed you with the yogurt, adding the yogurt with the ribbon salad. And then you just stir in 1 cup of vanilla flavored yogurt, or like I did today, I used the plain non-fat yogurt and added just a little bit of vanilla so it wouldn't be overpowering. And then I went ahead and I made the sauce, and the sauce is made with the plain pie cherries, just plain pie cherries drained, and then you thicken the juice with a little cornstarch, about a tablespoon of cornstarch, half a cup of sugar. If you use all the juice, you can taste it to see for sweetness, or you can use the new sweetener, and then just cook it till it's thickened. And I put in a couple drops of the almond extract. Don't overpower it, because if you do, especially if you have youngsters, they're going to go, ooh, not vanilla, but the almond is just too almondy. So just a hint of almond. And again, if you want it red, you'll have to add a little more red food coloring. So here you have a nice dessert. It has your skim milk, it has your yogurt, it has a little sweetener, flavorful cherries. It makes a wonderful end to a hearty meal. It's very, very good. I know here it's one of our favorites at the Extension Service. When the secretaries heard I was going to make the cherry cream dessert, they said, oh, save us some. We really like it. It's good, and the children like it too. It's has sort of like a pudding, soft texture, but it's very, very good. So be sure to try it for the holidays. You'll enjoy it. And along with the cream cherry, I'd like to show you a couple other desserts that are absolutely delicious. But why I like to show them to you is if I handed you the recipes, you probably wouldn't try them. But when you see them, I know you will duplicate them and enjoy them. You know how often at times that you go out and a lot of people just buy a graham cracker crust. And it's the basis for a lot of desserts. Today, I'd like to show you how to make a nice oat crust. Remember, we want to get more oatmeal in our diet too, along with all the other goodies. Simply melt about 3 to 4 tablespoons of your margarine, your low-fat, light margarine. Add 1 cup of the quick oats, and add 1/2 cup of finely ground nuts. I have walnuts here today. Also, we're going to put a little bit of sugar. And that depends on your taste. A recipe calls for a 1/3 cup, but if you don't like things real sweet, cut it down. Then we'll put in just a little sprinkle of nutmeg. Well, nutmeg would be good. I do have cinnamon. What you like. It's just whatever your family likes. We'll just put a little bit of cinnamon, just to give it a flavor, not to overwhelm it. We're going to mix these ingredients thoroughly, and then press them into the pie pan. So it's a change from the graham cracker crust. It's very good, very different for the holidays. And you're going to have what's in here. This is good when you try it. Now all that has to be done is put into a pie shell. I'm going to use a little fancy one here today. And then it's baked at 350 degrees, about 8 minutes, just till it gets a little bit brown. And you just put it in your pie shell, or You can use a square. Say you're going to go to a large potluck and you have to take a big square pan. You can put it in a square pan too. You don't have to do this in a pie tin. So you can use it for any type of a tin that you're going to make your desserts in. I just happen to be using this pie tin right now. And here we go. Push it up on the sides. Let it stand. Bake it quickly. And there you are, ready for a filling. And as you can see, this makes a generous amount. So you could do a nice large square pan if you wanted to. All right, we'll put our pie shell to the side. And now we're going to make a real simple yogurt pie. That's right, I said yogurt pie, a little bit different. You take your package of gelatin, and that can be just a 3-ounce package of gelatin of any flavor. Today, of course, we have red for the holidays. And let it set a little bit. Use 3/4 cup of boiling water and let it set up a little bit. And then when it's set, just so you can work with it, we're going to add 2 cups of yogurt. Again, it could be vanilla flavored. You can use plain. I'm just using plain non-fat yogurt because the gelatin has plenty of flavor itself. But you could use fruit in here for the holidays. You could use nuts. You could put anything in here that you wanted. And see how easy that is? You just blend it in. Nothing to it. So much more nutritious than our sour creams and all those rich high-fat foods. Has calcium in it too. Yes, I know we've used a lot of yogurt today, but you get rid of a lot of fat calories and you get some calcium. See how pretty that is? Thickens right up. And you pour it into a prepared pie tin or square tin. I have a square tin here cooked that we could use. We're going to do a cheesecake with that. But I made a pie tin this morning, and I'm going to put it right in here, refrigerate it, and we'll cut it for later. And like I said, this makes a generous amount. And then when you come to serve it, you could decorate it any way that you like. You put some mint leaves on it, some fruit, depending how creative you are. You can do a lot of nice decorations for the holidays with it. And believe me, your guests will say, "That's good. I like the recipe." Put fresh fruit on this. And again, you could change your gelatins, do anything you want with it. Be really, really creative. Makes a very good dessert. And another low-cal dessert I would like to share with you is a low-cal cheesecake. Cheesecake is so popular. Everybody, "Oh, will you make a cheesecake?" Well, I happen to run a Fitness 7 class from time to time, and I came across this recipe which is absolutely excellent. Again, it's just a simple crust. You can use your graham cracker or you can use the crust that we're using today. And all you do is take a large carton of the low-fat cottage cheese, put it in your blender. We're going to blend a little bit of this at a time. And our cover, oh dear, we lost our cover to the blender. Here we go, it's over here. And actually, this is food processor. We'll give it a little whirl. And what I have is gelatin, and it's a lemon gelatin. We're going to flavor this with lemon, and I'm going to put this in. You don't have to set it up. All you have to do is just use, again, a 3-ounce package of your gelatin to 1 cup of boiling water and let it just come to room temperature. And then you can blend it in with this cottage cheese. And you can add a little sugar to taste or sweetener, whatever you prefer. It'll be really good. See how easy these desserts can be, and you can make them up ahead of time. That's what's so nice about them. And then they're done. There's not a lot of last-minute preparation. They can be finished. You can take them out of the refrigerator, put them on your buffet tables, and they are good. Believe me, they're good. And don't be afraid to taste things to see if you would like a little more sweetener, a little flavor, a little hint of this or that. Always pull your plug for safety. Okay, now we're just going to turn, let's use this. See how nice? See the consistency? Right into our prepared pan. Then we're going to put this in the refrigerator to set up. Makes a nice generous amount. And it has a lemon flavor to it. Very simple to make. Again, it's one of the favorites. We've used this at luncheons. Been a very, very successful luncheon. Now what you do to finish it off, you simply take a can of pineapple and its natural juices, drain it, and just thicken the juice just like I did with the cherries, with a little bit of cornstarch, add a little bit of sugar if you need it, or sweetener, and then put your pineapple in, cool it. When this is set in the refrigerator, you add the pineapple on top. Spread it on top, then you just cut it in squares. This is a yogurt pie that I made, and I cut it in squares. So here you have a very colorful dessert. Again, if you want to get exotic, you could tint the pineapple. When I made this cheesecake, and I do make it often and take it many places, the first question they say, well, could we substitute pineapple? Certainly. If you had blueberries, you could thicken the blueberries and put them on top of the cheesecake. You could use strawberries, peaches, apricots, a blend of fruits. Any fruit would lend itself well. It really holds up well. It cuts well, as you can see. It's one of our favorites here at the Extension Service. So I hope that you've learned some new things, new recipes, and I've certainly enjoyed preparing them for you. If you have any questions, would like the recipes in detail, I know they're hard to get from a TV show, call us at the Cooperative Extension Service. That's 9857-169. And this has been Barbara Thiel, and please try these recipes, share them with your families. They're easy to make, and have a happy holiday season.
To receive a free copy of the recipes shown on this program, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Cooperative Extension Service, 108 McMorran Boulevard, Port Huron, 48060.